Rotating objects is another important thing to learn in Blender. So let's take a look at how to do that. We can rotate just similar to transform by hitting the rotate tool, and the shortcut for that is R. So if I right click over this chair to select it, hit the R key, you can see how I can rotate it around this viewport. This might not be how you really want to rotate it, but again, just like with the move tool, we can constrain it to specific axis. So if I hit the X key, I can rotate around the X axis. If I hit Y, I can rotate around Y. Remember, we are rotating around that axis, so think of the Y axis as more or like the X wheel. If I were to go for the Z axis, we would rotate around. Then I am going to right click off of this to cancel. So if I hit the R key and hit it a second time, you get a different type of rotation. You can actually rotate this object almost like it's on a trackball. So if you move it up and down, you're kind of moving along the Y direction. If you move it left and right, you're moving it along the Z direction, and so on. So you can kind of play with that as well. And again, right-clicking cancels the operation. Just like with transform, if I want to type in specific numbers, I can also do that. I can go over to the Properties panel for the chair here, or I can expand the Properties panel here, and I have my rotation options here. So if I wanted to rotate it around Z, say 90 degrees, I can just type that in, or if I can left click and drag on these sliders, I can again spin the chair however I want, and I am going to hit Ctrl Z here to undo that. And I am going to go ahead and close this. And now again, just like with the Move tool, we also have a gizmo that we can interact with to rotate objects. So if I go down here to my viewport and click on this Rotate Manipulator, you'll see this manipulator comes up, and it has three colors, red, green, and blue for the three axes. So I have, just by clicking on that you can see how it changes to my X, Y, and Z axis. So those are some of the basics of how to rotate objects. So go ahead and practice with that and get used to the different rotation modes that Blender offers.